demons are giving you trouble, you'd have to call the Huntrix. But if it's curiosity that's bothering you, this video will reveal all the secrets and hidden details of the movie K-Pop Demon Hunters. Get comfy on the couch, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss upcoming videos. These are 25 secrets of K-Pop Demon Hunters. Before their cool current look, the Huntrix's appearance was much more threatening, especially Zoe. In concept art shared by Sony Pictures, you can see the Huntrix in a more punk style. Zoe has green hair shaved on the sides, and Mira wields a fan-shaped weapon. The tiger and bird that Jinwoo sends to Rumi are inspired by Korean folk art. In it, the tiger symbolizes bravery and protection, while the magpie brings good luck. Beyond esoteric beliefs, this motif also served as a satire that mocked the social hierarchy of the time. Let's give them names, since the movie never mentions them. The director confirmed the tiger and magpie are officially named Derpy and Susie, respectively, and they aren't demons at all, but rather Korean supernatural creatures. The demons in K-Pop Demon Hunters draw inspiration from Korean folklore and myth. The most common ones are based on pukapi, goblin-like tricksters. They typically have horns and either red or blue skin. The demons in the sauna reference Malgui Shin, the ghosts of people who drown and who try to pull others underwater so they won't be lonely. The faceless demons that attacked a train are inspired by Paiguao Guishin, the souls of people who died with no one to remember them. Lastly, the biggest demon is Guima, whose name comes from the Korean word magui, meaning demon. Here's a piece of concept art showing what Guima was originally going to look like before turning into a giant ball of fire. The boy band named Saja Boys carries two completely different meanings in Korean. One innocently translates to lion boys, and the other is more grim, messengers of the afterlife, also called Josin Saja, literally the underworld's envoys who guide souls beyond. Unfortunately, most fans only latched on to the lion interpretation of the name. The black robes that the Saja Boys wear when they reveal their demon forms are a nod to their name's darker meaning. Besides meaning angels of death, Saja can also directly refer to death itself. In Korean folklore, the Grim Reaper is depicted wearing a traditional hat and robes very similar to the Saja Boys' outfits, just updated to fit a K-pop boy band aesthetic. Noticed anything strange about young Rumi's voice? In the original version, child Rumi is voiced by director Maggie Kang's own daughter, who is also named Rumi. That's no coincidence. The character was even named Rumi at the director's request. The protective barrier that shields the world from demons, the Han Moon, actually exists in the real world. In the movie, the Huntrix have to get the audience to join them in a song to empower the Han Moon to keep demons trapped in the underworld. This is a modern spin on a traditional Korean shamanic ritual called a gut, which involves dance, chants, and even sacrifices performed to protect communities from evil spirits. Essentially, the Huntrix put on an evolved gut ritual of their own. No chicken sacrifices required. One of the film's most iconic random lines is couch, 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 couch. This goofy, modern victory chant even appears as an Easter egg on Google. If you search for K-Pop Demon Hunters on Google, the word couch appears in a carousel that slides across the top of the page from right to left. A little celebratory surprise for fans. Rumi, Mira, and Zoe don't fight with just any fantasy weapons. Each is inspired by a real Korean weapon or spiritual tool. Rumi's sword is a Saengam, known as the Four Tiger Sword. It's a traditional Korean ritual sword used to ward off evil. Mira's weapon is a modern take on an ancient Korean polearm called the Choyeomchu, a curved spear from the Guguya era. Zoe's weapons are spiritual daggers or spirit knife. This might be the most symbolic weapon of all, since in real-life gut rituals, Korean shamans cast such knives toward evil spirits and then retrieve them to restore spiritual balance. Even though Zoe seems carefree, she had a rough past. In the Golden music video, her past is portrayed abstractly, two arms pulling her in opposite directions, symbolizing her American and Korean roots vying for her identity until she finally chooses one. This likely also nods to her experience through her parents' divorce and having to decide where to live. Despite it all, Zoe's a happy girl who loves turtles.
I like turtles.
So much so that she has turtle pajamas, a turtle-shaped talisman, and her fans use the turtle as her personal symbol. If you think a 6-year age gap in your relationship is big, imagine the difference between Jinu and Rumi. Jinu's age isn't stated outright, but we can estimate it from his backstory. When he was human, he lived during the mid-Joseon era, around the 16th century, which would make him roughly 4 centuries old. Well, if they ever run out of things to talk about, at least they can bond over complaining about how hard it is to find affordable housing these days.
Has gotten ridiculously expensive.
Scoring a role in K-pop Demon Hunters sounds great, unless you're a spotlight hogger. Baby Sanja, with his hilariously deep singing voice, has just one line of dialogue in the whole film, and that's it.
Goo goo gaga.
That's right, his voice actor basically just had to imitate a baby for 2 seconds. Scene stolen. Mira's segment in the Golden music video shows what her life was like with her family and how she tried to fit in. She comes from a very traditional conservative household, and she's pretty much the opposite. At some point, she decided to break away completely, essentially telling her family off and set out on her own path in life, no longer living for other people's expectations. Each member of the Saja Boys embodies a hidden critique of the K-pop industry. And no, we're not talking about their trendy hair colors. Mystery represents a lack of privacy idols face. Abby stands for the sexualization of idols, both male and female. Romance refers to the platonic friendship fantasy between idols and fans. Baby highlights the infantilization of Asian idols, the way they're all made to seem like fresh-faced high schoolers. And Jinu symbolizes putting money and fame before your principles. In short, it's a biting social commentary disguised as a demonic K-pop boy band. The outfits of Rumi, Mira, and Zoe include very special amulets. These pendants, called norige, are traditional Korean charms representing good luck, protection, and prosperity, typically worn with hanbok. Each girl wears a different one. Rumi's norige is purple with a small bell and has a light half and a dark half, reflecting her dual human-demon nature. Mira's is pink with a heart and little ornaments that reference her teammates. Zoe's features a turtle and cute bunny charms, fitting her more playful, childlike personality. Most of the lyrics of Golden are inspired by Rumi's inner turmoil over hiding the fact that she's half demon from her friends, despite her efforts to be true to herself. In that sense, the final song, What It Sounds Like, is a direct answer to Golden. It's Rumi's catharsis, the moment she lets go of the guilt of hiding her origins.
This is what it sounds like.
Rumi's mother was the previous Hanmoon protector. Early story drafts even had a revenge subplot where Rumi's mentor, Celine, was somehow responsible for her mother's death. There's one lie the movie leads us to believe all along and almost slips by unnoticed at the end. Rumi works to turn the Hanmoon golden, thinking that if it becomes golden, her demonic markings will disappear. But that turns out not to be true at all. After defeating the demons and finally finding freedom, Rumi's marks don't vanish. Instead, they remain burned into her skin as scars. It's a metaphor for her journey and how she ultimately accepts who she is, with her origins permanently etched into her skin. If you look closely at some of the Huntrix's fans in the movie, you'll spot tiny chibi cartoon versions of the other girls on their clothing. This is a nod to the animated alter egos of real-life group New Jeans, who have their own cartoon mascots, which are a bit like the Powerpuff Girls in style. In the auditorium hallways, you can see posters for real K-pop acts like Meow and Twice. In fact, Twice recorded a special version of the song Takedown, the song the Huntrix never get to finish in the movie, and this Twice version plays over the end credits. Specifically during the end credits, keep an eye out for fun nods to gaming and real brands. For example, the can of chips the Huntrix are snacking on clearly sports the Pringles logo. And in one sequence, Zoe is shown piloting a mecha ship and then chomping down on fast food in a manner that imitates Pac-Man gobbling up fast food. In K-pop Demon Hunters, the female hunters who preceded the Huntrix are also inspired by K-pop history. From Korean shamans wearing mudang-style dresses, through the Chaoguri sisters, the Kim sisters of the 1940s and 50s, Setore's 1980s look, to the Sunlight sisters who evoke the 90s group SES. If you look at the Huntrix's costumes during the Golden performance, one detail stands out. This flower symbol. It's the mugunhwa, the national flower of South Korea, known as the Rose of Sharon. In Korean, mugung means eternity or immortality, so this blossom symbolizes perseverance and strength to the Korean people. Those are exactly the qualities the Huntrix embody when they're battling demons. In K-pop, every group gives their fan base a special name. For example, BTS fans are called ARMY, Blackpink fans are Blinks, Stray Kids fans are Stay, and Twice fans are Once. These nicknames make fans feel like part of a family. In K-pop Demon Hunters, the Huntrix calls their fans the Hunters, playing off the fact that they're demon hunters. Meanwhile, the Saja boys dub their fandom Pride, as in a pride of lions, a clever nod to Saja meaning lion. K-pop Demon Hunters was created by the same studio behind Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature. Sony Pictures Animation used a similar hybrid 2D, 3D animation technique that revolutionized animation in Spider-Verse. But this time, they swapped the comic book effects for visual influences from K-pop and Korean culture. K-pop Demon Hunters premiered June 20th, 2025, and within just a few weeks, it became the most watched animated film in Netflix history. Its massive success on other streaming platforms even allowed it to surpass Blackpink's Jump debut in total views, thanks in large part to the popularity of the Golden music video. Golden by Huntrix is the first K-pop song led by female vocalists to reach #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It's also the first song by a female group of 3 or more members to top the chart in 24 years. The last was Destiny's Child's Bootylicious. And all that was achieved by a fictional group from an animated movie, something that hasn't happened since We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto topped the charts. Don't miss our videos full of movie and video game trivia, and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching. See you next time.